Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast of Town Ball Baseball here on WCMP 106.5 FM AM 1350. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman Arbor, bringing you all the action from tonight's game. And let's hear a word first from our sponsors and also a word from the Hinckley Knights manager, Ted Haas.
Minnesota Equipment is your lawn equipment headquarters. With plenty of staff members that have over 20 years of experience, they're number one in sales and service for a reason. The pros at Minnesota Equipment have tons of lawnmowers, zero-turn mowers, and accessories on site, so come by for Steel, Aaron's, Toro, Gravely, and John Deere, and take one home today. Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or find them at minnesotaequipment.com today.
All right, we are now joined by the manager of the Hinckley Knights, Ted Haas. Mr. Haas, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. All right, let's jump into it here. On Friday, you guys faced off against the Ramsey Renegades. Things got started a little bit slower, I think, in that game. But once things got rolling for you guys, they really got rolling. And again, the pitching, like you mentioned, was solid.
Yeah, we knew Ramsey hadn't necessarily had all the guys there the first few games, and it probably showed in some of the scores that they were slowly getting some guys back from college and things like that. And they came with a pretty decent lineup on Friday night, and they got the bats going early a little bit. But then Ben Sickler really settled in and did a great job of shutting them down after the first couple innings there. And the guys, it took a little bit for us to get going, but second, third time around the order, we started hitting the ball pretty hard and getting some runs across. So it was a nice win for us. I think Ramsey's gonna, get a few wins here coming up as I think their team is getting better and better as the summer goes on.
Right, and you guys, I think it was the fifth inning, barely had to lift the bats off the shoulders, did the batters in the batter's box. You guys, I think it was 2 straight or maybe 3 straight runs that came and walked across for scores. What is that as a manager? Is that something that you tell the guys, hey, just be patient up there, or is that something that they're kind of seeing at the plate?
Well, I think it's, more so it's the good plate discipline and trying to find pitches that we can hit, and we've got a pretty solid group of guys that have had a lot of at bats in their careers and do a pretty good job with picking out pitches that are going to be good to hit. So any way we can get guys on base, so we'll certainly take it.
Absolutely, and then also later in the game, Isaiah Haas, he came up to the plate and cleared the bases with a double. I mean, I think I remember seeing that he leads the team with RBIs, and another clutch at bat there for him.
Yeah, he's stepped up pretty well with guys on base so far, and yeah, I think he does have a nice lead in RBIs on the team right now. I'd expect that some other guys are going to start picking some up as well, but no, Isaiah's been off to a good start here for us, especially with runners in scoring position.
Right. So you guys wound up winning that game 8-3. Then you moved on to Sunday. It was a steamy one there as you guys went over to Bram to face off against the Snappers. Wound up winning that game. Talk about that matchup a little bit.
Yeah. Well, if anybody's looked at the standings, Bram has struggled a little bit this season. I think they've had some trouble with getting other guys there all at the same time and things like that. But when they do have their group, they can put together a nice team. And I think right now they probably don't have the pitching that they would like to have at least the first half of the season here. But it was 0-0, I think, through 2, and then our guys started getting on base, and we showed a little bit of power Sunday. The wind was blowing out a little bit to right field, so that helped a little bit. But, we found ways to get guys on base. I think we had somewhere in the area of 15 hits, and some guys started they're starting to get in the groove here, and more our guys are able to be committed now throughout the season. So Early on, sometimes there's things going on. The kids have school yet. There's weddings, there's all kinds of things. But a lot of times the guys will clear their schedule here, late June and all the way through July and August into playoffs. So, I expect that we're going to have a pretty good squad here most of the time. The thing about it is, though, I say that, but we've got some really great depth on our team. So when we do have to have guys that are gone, we really don't miss a beat with, when some of the other guys that don't always start are getting in the game. It really is not really much of a step down at all because we've got some really quality players. I think guys that would start on many other teams that don't always start for us. So that's just a great thing. I think it's part of being part of the Hinckley Knights. It's a great organization to be part of.
Absolutely, that is for sure. Now, looking at the standings here for the Eastern Mini League real quick, with Moore's win yesterday, they are now a half game ahead of you guys. But what does it mean to be on top of the division, especially getting into the latter part of the season?
Well, the better seed you can get going into the region, you certainly do want to put yourself in position to, not that, any game in the playoffs is a gimme or anything, but the better seed you can get, the better chances you probably have of, advancing into the winner's bracket in those playoffs. And, the ultimate goal is to make the state amateur tournament, and which is, quite the ordeal. And, Hinckley's been there many, many times, and but it's been a few years since we've been there, and, that's definitely the goal this year. So, we're looking to have a real solid regular season here to put ourselves in position to make a run.
Absolutely. And speaking of coming up on important games, this weekend, starting on Friday, is another 3-day tournament, the Hinckley Invitational Tournament. What is that like to have teams come up from around the state and be able to play at home in a tournament like that?
Well, for one thing, it's a lot of fun. It's one of the money makers too for the Knights. It's a way that we can fund all the things that we need for the season and paying umpires and all those things. So, but at the same time, a lot of teams I think love to come up to Hinckley and play with the atmosphere that we have up there. And we love. We like playing at Brennan Field, so it's a lot of fun. The Hinckley Invitational is one of the best tournaments in the state. We've got some high-level Class C teams that probably we'll see in the state tournament later this year, and then we've got some Class B teams, and then one of the premier Class A teams in Lions Club. So if you want to come out and watch some good baseball this weekend, Brennan Field is definitely the place to be.
Absolutely. And what does it do for your team to play teams from different classes like that? I'm sure there's got to be some certain level of where it does give you a different look, and it helps a little bit.
Absolutely. We early in the season we always try to schedule some Class B teams, which the reason we do that is that they have a lot of good quality pitching depth, and we want our guys to see guys that are throwing in the upper 80s and have some good off speed because it slows the game down for us a little bit once we hit mid-season and we feel like we've faced this before kind of thing, and the more experience you have facing high-level players, the more success you're going to have, and you're going to be able to build confidence that you can get the job done no matter who's on the mound for the other team.
That is it from me here today. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I mentioned coming on out to watch the Invitational this weekend. There's 2 games Friday night, 6 and 8, and then we pretty much, I think we get her going about 10:30 on Saturday morning and go all day long, and then I think about the same deal on Sunday. Might start at 10 on Saturday, 10 or 10:30. I can't remember offhand, but anyway, come on up to Hinckley and check it out. I think you'll like what you see. So,
alrighty. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview. It is greatly appreciated.
Yes, thank you so much.
If
If you've been injured in an auto accident or have sustained other personal injury, you don't have to leave town to get good representation. Spear and Swanson attorneys at law in Pine City are experienced and will work on your case with no fee until they get you money. They also handle divorce and custody cases, criminal defense, including DWI and other legal matters. Spear and Swanson is your local law firm that cares about you. So if you need legal representation or advice, call 320-629-7586. Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City.
With high school sports season here again, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Chad Greenway here, and I want to tell you about the different kind of banking relationship you and your business will get at Franzen Bank and Trust. It's called advisory banking, and it's designed to help you every step of the way along your path to financial success. Franzen bankers take the time to learn about your financial goals so they can deliver customized solutions. To learn more, find a Franzen banker near you at franzenbank.com/location. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Visit Town & Country Insurance today at townandcountry-ins.com or stop in our offices in Finlayson, Hinckley, and Mora.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this broadcast of baseball here on WCMP 106.5 FM AM 1350 with live video on WCMPradio.com. It is the Hinckley Knights hosting the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs here tonight. It is the Bulldogs who are up to the plate. Ben Sickler going to get the start on the mound tonight for the Knights. Sandvik is, first hit is hit foul down the third base line and dropped by the third baseman Isaiah Haas. So he'll get to go back to the right-handed batter's box and do it again. That pitch is in there on the outside corner for strike number 2. 0-2 count now to Ryan Sandvik, the leadoff batter here for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. He'll play that third base position tonight. And this one low and in the dirt outside as well from Ben Sickler. Moves the count to 1-2. Sickler gets set. Here's the 1-2 delivery. That one is fouled back. Sandvik got a piece of it, just enough to foul it back, and he'll do it again with a 1-2 count. Bulldogs tonight in their away white uniforms as this pitch is swung on and fouled off down the third base line. We've got the numbers and letters in Carolina blue outlined in navy blue, and their cuffs on their shirts are Two navy stripes with the Carolina blue down the middle. That one is just outside for ball 2. Evens the count at 2-2 for Ryan Sandvik, the leadoff batter for the Bulldogs. Sickler with the pitch. That one is tapped foul. Just got a piece of it. And he'll step back to the batter's box and do it again with a 2-2 count. Sickler with the 2-2 delivery. That's going to be outside, and now the count moves full for Ryan Sandvik. That one's low. Throw on to first. The swinging strikeout was dropped. And the throw out to first. And that is out number 1. Dusty Rhodes now comes to the plate for the Bulldogs, playing that shortstop position. Here's the windup and the pitch from Sickler. That one's in there for strike number 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be low for ball 1. 1-1 is the count. We were here last Friday covering the Knights game against the Renegades, and Sickler went full 7 innings, struck out 8 batters, and only allowed, I think it was 2 to 3 hits in that game. Very good outing there for Ben Sickler as this pitch is in there on the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 count now for Dusty Rhodes. And here's the 0-2, and that is well inside. Rhodes had to duck under it. Two count and the delivery. Just outside, and that's ball 3 for a full count. Rhodes with a full count, back-to-back batters who will have a full count, and here's the pitch from Sickler. That one swung on and hit towards the second baseman. That's at shortstop. He gets it on to first in time for out number 2. The shortstop out there is Noah Furch. Augie Brown. Brown, the left-handed batter, steps in. Watches that one go by for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Augie Brown. That one's inside. And ball 2 now. Nobody on. 2 out for the Bulldogs. That one is on the outside corner, but gets enough of it for strike 1 from Ben Sickler. Here's the 2-1 delivery. That's low for ball 3. A 3-1 count now for Augie Brown from the Bulldogs. He has 2 down with nobody on, and trying to change that here for his team. He went about halfway around, but stopped just in time, and he'll walk. Nick Wasco now coming to the plate. Wasco steps into the batter's box. A runner on first and 2 down. Here's the pitch from Sickler on the outside corner, but gets enough of it for strike number 1. Nick Wasco will play that catcher position tonight for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. Ben Sickler likes the signal. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 2. 0-2 count now for Nick Wasco. And the 0-2 delivery from Sickler just outside in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2 count now for Wasco. And the runner on first is Augie Brown. And Wasco just gets a piece of that one. Fouls it back. Count will stay 1-2. Sickler is set. Here's the 1-2, and that is low for ball 2. 2-2 count, 2 down with the runner on first for the Bulldogs here in the top of the first. And Wasco gets a piece of that one. Back into the netting. Count stays 2-2. Sickler readies, and time call for this pitch is thrown. Wasco will step onto the batter's box for a moment. And now back in. Sickler will ready once again. Here's the 2-2 delivery. That's in there for strike number 3. That'll be a backwards K. So no hits there for the Bulldogs. 1 left on. No damage done for the Bulldogs. It'll be the Hinckley Knights' turn to get going here in this game against the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. They've had a tough start to their season, but that does not mean that that's the way it'll stay. And in fact, if you heard that interview with the manager, Ted Haas, he talked about how he feels like this team is going to be pretty darn good come this part of the season and throughout the rest of the season because they're getting a lot of their kids back from college and high school, but a lot of college kids who are going to be coming back to this team now. And he said that, he feels like this team is going to be a lot better than what people think, especially since they've got their kids coming back now from, wherever they've been playing so far. So it should be an interesting matchup here tonight. And other baseball scores, the Minnesota Twins lead the Cleveland Guardians in the bottom of the third currently, 3-1. So hopefully tonight's outcome for the Twins is better than last night's. Of course, last night's loss, a tough one to swallow for Twins fans. It should have been a win, but just has struggling here as of late. We're 5-5 in our last 10 games are the Twins, tied atop the division right now with the Guardians for that first place spot. And they've got some work to do if they want to get that lead built back up over the Guardians, because the Guardians have found a little bit of rhythm as of late, so they've got some work to do for sure. As the Bulldogs are in the outfield, warming up, and Sickler is going to be the leadoff batter tonight for the Hinckley Knights. Here at beautiful Brennan Field in Hinckley, Minnesota. Always a pleasure to come out here and call games anytime we have the opportunity to. And looking at the weather currently right now, according to my weather app, it says it is 79 degrees outside, so just a touch under 80. Got a breeze every once in a while of about 3 miles an hour, so beautiful night for baseball, though. It definitely feels a lot warmer than it was yesterday. You know, I think yesterday technically it was a little bit warmer, but so we get to the bottom of the first after the Bulldogs warm up. And it's Max Sickler, as I mentioned, leading off the bottom of the first. Max Sickler on the season, batting .283, has 4 stolen bases and 2 RBIs. He has 1 triple on the year as well. Here's the windup and the pitch in there, a little bit high for ball 1. Again, Bulldogs in their all-white unis with the Carolina blue caps, and this one is swung on and hit down the third base line, but it is going to drift into foul territory out of play. That'll leave the count at 1-1 for Max Sickler. Playing over in left field tonight for Hinckley. Here's the windup and the pitch. This one is swung on and flying out to left field. Getting under it is the left fielder in time for out number 1, Tanner Marquardt. So, first out, and now Sean Osmus comes to the plate. Osmus on the season, batting .102. And he's got 2 RBIs as well. 2 doubles for him on the year. One down, nobody on. Osmus will look at this one go by for strike number 1. 0-1 the count now to Sean Osmus. Here's the windup and the pitch. Osmus gets a piece of that one into the gap in left field, and that's down for a base hit. And it just gets past the left fielder's glove. Osmus thought about turning the corner and going to second. Instead, center fielder there to back up his left fielder. So Osmus with the single. And now coming to the plate, Noah Furch, the shortstop. Again, if you remember last Friday's game we broadcast here on WCMP, he was the player of the game, in our opinion. He had a monster night, had a home run in the bottom of the second, and also made a lot of clutch plays over there at shortstop, making a ton of throws. Just was an absolute beast out there last Friday night. Well, with 1 out and 1 on, this pitch gets away from the catcher just a little bit, but John Osmus will stay at first. With a 1-0 count now for Noah Furch. That one is in there for strike 1 to Furch. Pitcher quickly glances over at Osmus. Runner on first. This one is high for ball 2 to Furch. 2-1 is the count for him with runner on first and 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. And Furch on the year. He'll watch this one go high for ball 3. 3-1 count. And Noah Furch batting .346 with 6 RBIs and 3 home runs on the year. Watches this one go by for strike 2. Full count now for Noah Furch. Runner on first with 1 down. Nobody has brought a run across the board yet. Nice trying to be the first. Here's the pitch. Oh, that 3-2 pitch nearly clipped Furch. I think it actually may have got a piece of him. So he'll get to first on a walk. And now it's Corey Schmidt coming up to the plate for the Hinckley Knights. Playing second base for them today. And on the season, he's batting .208 with 8 RBIs and a home run for him. And a great opportunity to add some more RBIs to his total. Runner on first and second with 1 out, and he watches the first pitch go by for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 delivery. This one is in there for strike 1 to Corey Schmidt. Here's the 1-1 delivery. It's low, and nice job by the catcher there to keep that in front of him. Runners will stay where they're at first and second, and the count for Schmidt is 2-1. Nick Wasco catching tonight for the Bulldogs. Here's the delivery. 2-1. That one swung and will be fouled back out of play. And the count will move even to 2-2 now for Schmidt with runners on first and second and only 1 down. Sickler flew out to left field to lead off the inning, and then it was a base hit from Osmus and a walk for Furch. And reaching on that one is Schmidt trying for the double play. Not going to get it. Going to be a fielder's choice there. So 2 outs now. Schmidt is safe on first. Osmus will be out at third. And now it's TJ Johnson coming to the plate, playing center field today for the Knights. TJ Johnson. On the year, he is batting .212 with 4 RBIs. Runners on first and second once again. And TJ Johnson looks at this one on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. On deck is Isaiah Haas. He had a pretty clutch hit in the game this past Friday. cleared the bases as he reached on a double. And looked like they wanted to send Furch on the steal. Swing by TJ Johnson is caught by the center fielder, and oh my goodness, we nearly had the bases cleared there by Johnson, but it was not meant to be. That'll be scored as an F8. Yeah, that is flown out to center field. The center fielder came up on it quite quickly, but he almost came up on it too quickly. He had to reach back with that glove and make the catch, and I mean, he was probably an inch away from dropping that one and allowing 2 runs to score. But either way, we go down with no score for the Knights here after 1 hit. They strand 2, and we'll go to the top of the second inning with the score stayed at 0-0. We'll get a word from our fine sponsors. We'll be back with baseball here on WCMP.
All right, saw, check. Drill, check. The rest of the tools, check. All right, let's get started. Honey?
Yes?
Where's all the lumber to build this shed?
The big box store was supposed to drop it off 2 days ago. Is it not out there?
Man, it's the chicken coop all over again. Bill from work just built a sauna, and he said he went through Hinckley Lumber. Let's call them and see what they can do.
I'm on the phone with them now. They said...
Delivery from Hinckley Lumber. Where do you want it?
There would be great. Thanks.
All in a day's work. But for your next project, like fixing that ugly chicken coop over there, think Hinckley Lumber.
Top of the second inning. No score here in this one between the Hinckley Knights and Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. The Hinckley Knights on the season 10-4. Bulldogs 0-4. And Jeremy Knutson, their first baseman, will lead off for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. He watches this one outside for ball 1. Knutson watches this one go down the middle for strike 1. Knutson on the season is batting 0 according to the stat sheet, but feeling that's not quite accurate. Swinging on that one is Knutson, and now his count moves to 1-2. And Sickler will look to get the first out of the inning, but not so. This one is flown out to the second baseman, who gets back onto the grass, grabs it for out number 1. Logan Reynolds now at the plate for the Bulldogs, swinging and missing, coming out of the batter's box even a little bit. On that one is Reynolds. This one is just off the plate outside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count to Reynolds. Swinging and missing on that one. Beautiful movement on that ball from Ben Sickler. Gets him swinging and missing, and now a 1-2 count quickly here for Reynolds. 1 down, nobody on. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Reynolds smartly holds off on that swing. His count moves to 2-2. Sickler wasting no time. Here's the pitch. Across the plate, and he'll go down looking. Will Reynolds. Nathan Zimmerman coming to the plate. And this one is by for strike 1 for Nathan Zimmerman. And that one is by for ball 1. That one is on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. And Sickler trying to make quick work of the top of the second inning. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on and a hit out to right field. This should be an easy play for the right fielder. It is. He's under in time for out number 3. So that is it. 1, 2, 3, go the Bulldogs. No hits, no errors. And a quick 1, 2, 3 inning for the Bulldogs, as we will now move down to the bottom of the second inning for the Hinckley Knights. They're trying to get their bats going once again. It'll be Isaiah Haas, Trevor Johnson, and Brady Johnson coming to the plate for the Hinckley Knights. And don't forget this weekend here back at Brennan Field in Hinckley, it is the Hinckley Invitational Tournament, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That should be a fun one. Looking at the schedule for that tournament here, which again starts on Friday, and it starts with a 6 o'clock game between Anoka and Maple Plain, and then the last game of Friday night will be Hinckley, who will take on Buffalo at 8 p.m. And then the Saturday games will start at 10 a.m. with Centennial taking on Spring Hill and Lions Pub taking on Burnsville at 12:30. Hunter Lindstrom. So a pitching change. If you didn't hear over the loudspeaker, Nathan Zimmerman moves out to right field. Hunter Lindstrom moves in from his right field spot to the pitcher spot.
Leading off the bottom of the second for the Knights, the third baseman, number 21, Isaiah
And Isaiah Haas now coming to the batter's box. They had one hit in that first inning, and trying to improve on that here in the bottom of the second and trying to get more than a couple runners on and get across the plate here to grab the early lead. Here's the pitch. And a little low for ball one. Here's the windup in the pitch. Isaiah Haas gets a piece of it, but it's fouled off down the third base line. And the count moves to 1-1. Lindstrom gets set. Here's the delivery. And Haas gets a piece of that one, but he'll foul it off out of play. And now the count moves to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Isaiah Haas. He gets a piece of that one, but pops it up towards the second baseman. He's under it on the outfield grass for out number one. Trevor Johnson will now step to the plate for the Hinckley Knights. Their catcher. They'll look for a better result than what Isaiah Haas had in his first at-bat. Haas has kind of made a late decision on that one to swing and reach for just a tad, but Johnson looking for a different result. That is trouble, though, over there at first, and oh, just a good play there by the first baseman, Jeremy Knutson. That's a dangerous spot for that ball, but nice job by Knutson to get over there and grab that one. That's a spot where that one gets down, and it's just a tough play, but nice job by Knutson. And now at the plate, their DH, Brady Johnson. This one is outside for ball one to Johnson. 2 down already with nobody on for the Knights. This one's outside as well, and a quick 2-0 count for Brady Johnson. Here's the windup and the pitch. Outside, and a quick 3-0 count now to Brady Johnson. Hunter Lindstrom. Brady Johnson batting under 100 at 83. Watches this one go by for strike one. Thought about it, but did not go around. He's got 2 RBIs on the year, does Johnson. Swinging on this one and getting it out to center field, deep center field. Center fielder on it with a diving catch out there. Nice play by the center fielder, Logan Reynolds. My goodness. kind of got a late start on that one, and I'm sure the sun didn't help at all. But my goodness, what a play out there by the center fielder, Logan Reynolds, for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs, making the diving catch for the third out. And Hinckley Knights will go 1, 2, 3, no hits and no errors. And we will head to the top of the third here in Hinckley. No score between the Hinckley Knights and the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs.
Building season is here. Are you prepared for it? Hinckley Lumber sure is. With estimates for any building project you may have. Whether it's just a tree fort for the kids in the backyard or the dream home you're designing, they've got you covered. On top of being your #1 supplier in northern Minnesota, Hinckley Lumber has the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff you can ask for. Stop in today or give them a call. But be careful, because once they earn your business once, you won't go anywhere else. Hinckley Lumber.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Top of the third inning, and the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs leadoff hitter will be Tanner Marquardt. And he's looking to bunt. Misses, though, on that bunt attempt. And it will be an 0-1 count now. So trying to bunt, kind of a running bunt. Trying to get on first for Tanner Marquardt. Sickler with the pitch. Oh, just a little bit low for ball 1. And Sickler is a pitcher who really wastes no time on the mound. As soon as he gets the ball, it's about 2-3 seconds before the pitch comes. Swinging and missing on that one is Marquardt for strike 2, and now it's a 1-2 count. Sickler with the delivery. That is outside for ball 2. Again, Marquardt looking to put on the bunt, but Sickler making it a little difficult for Marquardt to get a piece of it. Here's the windup and the pitch. Right down the middle. Swing and a miss by Marquardt. And that is the steam going by Marquardt. And Hunter Lindstrom, who started out as the right fielder, now the pitcher at the plate for the Bulldogs. One down, nobody on. Ben Sickler with the windup and the pitch. In there for strike 1. The 0-1 delivery is just off the plate outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Hunter Lindstrom. Sickler with the pitch. Oh, and that one is high for ball 2. Just a little bit high. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Sickler. And Lindstrom got a piece of it. Just enough to foul it back to the backstop. Count will even out at 2-2 for Lindstrom. And batter on deck right now is the top of the order, Ryan Sandvik. Here's the windup and the pitch. This one's going to be fouled back out of play. Count will stay at 2-2. Sickler steps back on the mound. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss from Hunter Lindstrom. And 2 down, nobody on, and that is now 4 strikeouts for Ben Sickler. Now back to the top of the order. Excuse me, that's 5 strikeouts for Ben Sickler. In fact, Ryan Sandvik went down swinging in his first at-bat, and another nice pitch there from Sickler. As Sandvik now deals with an 0-1 count with 2 down and nobody on. Sickler with the windup and the 0-1 pitch. This one swung on, and that one will be hit out of play. Sickler will get a ball right away, and step back to the mound. 0-2 count now for Sandvik. And Sickler looking to end the inning here with this one. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Just outside and low for ball one. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Sickler. That one's going to be low as well. Evens the count at 2-2 for Ryan Sandvik. Nobody on and 2 down for the Bulldogs. Sickler with the pitch. Got it by him again. That is 3 straight strikeouts for the Hinckley Knights. Ben Sickler, he now has 6 on the game through 3 innings. That's averaging 2 per inning. Quite the average here for Ben Sickler, and he's got that strikeout pitch working for him right now. No hits, no errors there. The Bulldogs will head back out to the field, and the Hinckley Knights will get ready for their turn at the plate. They went 1-2-3 in their last inning. Haas Johnson and Brady Johnson. And now it'll be Jacob Perotti who will lead off for the Hinckley Knights. And then we move back to the top of the order for Max Sickler and Sean Osmus. They have only got 1 hit to this point. That was Sean Osmus, who reached on a single. And then reaching on a walk was Noah Furch.
Nathan Zingerman is actually in center field. He was the guy with the nice catch last inning. And moving over to right field is number 37, Logan Reynolds.
Reynolds over in right field now. And Zimmerman at center field, if did not hear the PA announcer. So Zimmerman was the one with that nice diving catch the last inning. Just an incredible diving catch. And, I mean, if he doesn't get that one, that definitely gets him to a couple of bases, if I can speak. Apparently Wednesdays are not a good speaking day for me, apparently. So Jacob Perotti leads off the bottom of the third for the Hinckley Knights. And Jacob Perotti on the season batting .129 with 1 RBI. Lindstrom with the pitch. That is inside, but catches enough of the plate for strike 1. A 1 count now to Jacob Perotti. Playing over in right field. Here's the windup in the pitch from Lindstrom. That's outside in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 count now for Jacob Perotti. Lindstrom with the windup and the pitch. That one's low for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Lindstrom with the 2-1 pitch. That one's inside, just off the inside part of the plate for ball number 3. 3-1 count now for Jacob Perotti. Here's the delivery. Perotti gets a swing on that one, just past the outstretched diving arm of the third baseman. The throw on to first, not going to be there in time. So an infield single for Jacob Perotti to lead off the bottom of the third. And now it's back to the top of the order. Max Sickler, who flew out in his first at-bat to left field. He's got a runner on first. That's their second hit of the evening for the Knights. Again, no score here between these two teams, and Knights trying to get on the board. They got their leadoff man on. Hunter Lindstrom. Throw nearly gets Perotti, but he is back safely, diving back into first. Just beats the throw. And look, going to lay down the bunt, but it does hit off the, nearly off the front of the plate first, and then goes foul. 0-1 now is the count to Max Sickler after the attempted bunt. Trying to advance Perotti to second. And the pitcher Lindstrom going to, again, check Perotti at first, but he's back safely, diving into first. He will again check the runner at first. Trying to just keep him honest over there at first. Perotti not giving in, though. He's still taking his lead that he knows he can. So Perotti, he's pretty comfortable with that. And that's going to be a base hit there from Max Sickler. That'll be a single, and that'll move Perotti to second base. He had that one read right from the get-go. He knew where exactly that was going and where he wanted to put it. So a base hit for these first two at-bats. And now it's Sean Osmus who had the first hit of the game. Nobody out, 2 on. Laying down the bunt is Osmus. It's going to roll foul. Oh, my. Had some nasty spin on it. That would have been a beautiful spot for a bunt had it stayed fair, because those runners would have easily been safe at second and third. Osmus probably would have been out, but, man, that's a tough one. Beautiful spot for a bunt from Sean Osmus, and the spin on it just rolls it foul. 0-1 now is the count. Again, nobody out and 2 on. Lindstrom fakes the throw back to second. There's no one around second to even get ready for an attempted pickoff. So that's, again, more just keeping Perotti honest. And Osmus, again, looking to put down the bunt, but that one's going to be in the dirt. He pulls back in time. And it's a 1-1 count now to Sean Osmus. Lindstrom, he's been testing these runners on the base usually after one pitch, and Osmus going to lay down a bunt. This one's going to be a good one. Runners are safe at second and third. Throw on to first is in time for out number 1, but the runners will move to second and third. And Sean Osmus again lays down the bunt. So Noah Furch comes to the plate. He reached on a walk in his first at-bat. And has a great opportunity right now for an RBI with just a swing of the bat. Here's the windup and the pitch from Lindstrom. Outside. Catcher keeps it in front of him. And it's a 1-0 count. Here's the 1-0 delivery from Lindstrom. Inside. Catches nice part of the plate. 4 strike 1. 1-1 count now for Noah Furch. Lindstrom with the pitch. Nice pitch from Lindstrom there on that one. Makes it a 1-2 count now for Noah Furch. That's a tough one for any batter to try and swing on, because that's a movement late on it. And that's a tough one to try and swing. 1-2 count. Furch going to swing on to the shortstop, and the shortstop can't get it cleanly. That goes through his legs, and that's going to score 2. So an RBI there for Furch. He'll reach on an error. Call it an E6. And that scores the first 2 runs of the game for the Knights. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Hinckley Knights. After the E6 error at the shortstop position, Noah Furch will still get those 2 RBIs counted towards his stat sheet. And now it's Corey Schmidt at the plate. With 1 down and a runner on first, that one is inside for ball 1 to Schmidt. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside again, and the catcher quickly pops up from his stance and checking Furch at first. Furch not worried about it as he just kind of nonchalantly walks back. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 3, so a 3-0 count to Corey Schmidt. That one's in there in the inside part of the plate. 4 strike 1, 3-1 count for Schmidt. Lindstrom with the pitch. This one swung on out to center field. Can the center fielder get to it in time? No! And that's going to be down for a base hit. Furch going to round second. He's going for third. The throw to third. Ooh, that was close. And Furch will reach home on that errant throw. The throw got to the third baseman, but they tried to tag him as he got the ball. But it's going to be counted as another error. It's going to be a base hit. He will get credit for the base hit, but I believe the score will be counted as an error. 3-0 now for the Hinckley Knights, as it is T.J. Johnson at the plate. This pitch is outside for ball 1. So a base hit for Corey Schmidt, and then an error helps him reach third base. And a 3-0 lead for the Knights. Low for ball 2 to T.J. Johnson. Flew out in his first back in the first. Lindstrom with the 2-0 pitch. Oh, and that gets him. T.J. Johnson hit by the pitch. He'll moved on to first. And now that'll bring up Isaiah Haas. Haas, an RBI machine this year for the Hinckley Knights, and he's in a great position to add on to this. Already 3 runs here in the bottom of the third with 1 down, runners on the corners. For Isaiah Haas, Lindstrom with the pitch. Haas swinging at the first pitch he sees. This one going to be thrown on to first in time for the out, but he'll get an RBI. As the runner from third comes home. So now 2 down, runner on second. And it is Trevor Johnson who will come to the plate for the Hinckley Knights. He flew out in his first at-bat. Here's the windup in the pitch. That one is outside for ball 1. Runner on second with 2 down for Trevor Johnson. Here's the pitch from Lindstrom. Gets a piece of that one right back to the pitcher. It goes almost basically through his glove. And that looks like it will send a run home. The 5th run across the board in this inning. T.J. Johnson scores. The base hit from Trevor Johnson. The RBI single makes it 5-0. Griffin Steele will come in and pinch run for Trevor Johnson. And now to the plate is Brady Johnson, the DH. He flew out in his first at-bat, but Knights have got something going here. 5-0. Here's the pitch. First one is outside for ball 1. This one is a ball as well to Brady Johnson. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one's high for ball 3. 3-0 count now for Brady Johnson. And that's low for ball 4. So 4 pitches, and Johnson will walk down to first. And Jacob Perotti. We have officially batted around here for the Hinckley Knights. Jacob Perotti led it off with a base hit. He would eventually reach home, as would the next batter up, Max Sickler, as would Noah Furch, Corey Schmidt, and T.J. Johnson. About 3 or 4 hits here in this inning for the Hinckley Knights, with 1 error, allowing them to score one of those runs. Little mound visit there for the pitcher Hunter Lindstrom, who came in the second inning for the original starting pitcher Jacob Mickelson. Jacob Brody, he led off this inning originally, and with a single here probably scores one. Here's the pitch from Hunter Lindstrom. That's inside low for ball one. 1-0 count for Jacob Brody here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch from Lindstrom. That's down the middle for strike one. Brody now with a 1-1 count, 2 down, and runners on first and second. 2 errors here for the Bulldogs in this inning. One which allowed a score to cross the board. This one's hit out to left field by Brody. Left fielder's under it in time for out number 3. So they have 5 runs on the board here in the bottom of the third. 4 hits for them score those 5 runs. They left 2 on the bases, but they now take a 5-0 lead here over the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs as we move to the top of the 4th inning. And we will be back with more baseball action here on WCMP after a word from our fine sponsors.
Woodlands National Bank would like to wish the Jaguars good luck. Woodlands National Bank is your local bank. They focus on meaningful relationships and offer a wide variety of home mortgages. They're the small town bank that knows your name but still offers an amazing online experience for their customers. For more information, visit them online at woodlandsnationalbank.com and make sure to like them on Facebook too. Experience the Woodlands way. Member FDIC.
Moving to the top of the 4th inning, the Knights have a 5-0 lead over the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. They got 4 hits in that bottom of the 3rd inning. And the Bulldogs also had 2 errors. And we just got word up from the umpire. Looks like a substitution happened. Dusty Rhodes will lead off for the Bulldogs. He grounded out in his first at-bat. His team's got a bit of work to do here as they're down 5-0. This one's high for ball one from Ben Sickler. Sickler, who has 6 strikeouts in the game so far. This second straight pitch is a ball. 2-0 count now to Dusty Rhodes. That one's outside as well, and now it's a quick 3-0 count to Dusty Rhodes. And 4 straight pitches, and will send Rhodes to first. Augie Brown comes to the plate. He reached on a walk in his first at-bat back in the first. He'll look to do a little bit more here in this at-bat. He's got a runner on first with nobody down. Here's the pitch. Brown thought about it, but instead he'll hold back. It's a strike either way. Now he'll face an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swung on right to the first baseman. He's going to throw onto 2 for 1. And that will be it. So a fielder's choice will get Rhodes out at second. But Augie Brown is on at first again. A fielder's choice. And Nick Wasco now comes to the plate. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. Got a runner on first with one down. Thought about going around, but it's right down the middle for strike one. Sickler with the pitch. That's down the middle as well for strike two. 0-2 quickly here to Nick Wasco. He's in danger of going down on strikes once again. That one's going to be low in the dirt for ball one. Johnson does a good job. Keep him in front of him and keep that runner at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Sickler. Swung on and hit right out to center field. Do we have a diving catch? We do. Diving catch there by the center fielder, T.J. Johnson. T.J. Johnson with a diving catch out there for out number 2. And now Jeremy Knutson up to the plate. What a play there from T.J. Johnson out at center field. Sickler, first pitch to Knutson is low and outside for ball one. 1-0 count. Sickler with the pitch. Beautiful pitch to come back with. Wow. Movement on that one. I mean, Knutson had no chance. It's a 1-1 count. Comes back with nearly the same pitch. Right back to Sickler for out number 3. Wow. Sickler with some beautiful pitching there. Throws it on to first for the third out. And we move to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Hinckley Knights leading 5-0 over the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. And Sickler, I mean, back-to-back pitches that the batter basically had no chance at. And just a slow roller back to Sickler on that one. He easily threw it on to first in time for the third out. So bottom of the 4th. Hinckley Knights have a 5-0 lead over the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. We move back to the top of the lineup here for the Hinckley Knights with Max Sickler going to lead things off for Hinckley. Again, another beautiful night for baseball here in Hinckley at Brennan Field. At 8:25 p.m., we're sitting at about 77 degrees. And by the time this one gets to its conclusion, we will probably be sitting around 65 degrees. Reed Marquardt will come into pitch now for the Bulldogs.
Number 7, Hunter Lindstrom, moves out to left field.
Lindstrom pitched, 2 innings. He pitched 2 innings, did Lindstrom, and he didn't get a strikeout, but he did allow 4 hits. So Reed Marquardt will be the new pitcher for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. He's their 3rd pitcher of the evening already. And getting set to start this bottom of the 3rd, or 4th, excuse me. We just had the bottom of the 3rd, and it was a good bottom of the 3rd for the Hinckley Knights. They scored 5 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and one of them caused the Knights to get a run home. So again, it is Reed Marquardt out on the mound for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. He will be the 3rd pitcher tonight for the Bulldogs.
Update from Target Field, going to the bottom of the 5th. The Twins are up on the Guardians 5-4.
Ooh, the Guardians have come back a little bit. We just got an announcement. The Twins leading 5-4. They were up 5-1 at one point. So Guardians have come back and now are within one of the lead. Not what you want to hear. The Twins, that has happened too much this season for them. It just seems like they have the lead and all of a sudden they just give it up and allow too many runs to come across in one inning. I mean, it is baseball. That is the beautiful thing about baseball is you can have one inning, one at-bat that really just changes the momentum and swings it in the other direction, no pun intended. So Max Sickler will lead off the bottom of the fourth. Reed Marquardt with a nice pitch there. It's in there for strike one to Sickler. Max Sickler, that is. Ben Sickler pitching tonight for the Knights. Sickler gets a piece of that one onto shortstop, and he cannot get it in time. And that's going to be an error. We scored an error, another E6 for the Bulldogs. And now Sean Osmus comes to the plate, 0 for 2 tonight. He flew out in his first at-bat and then grounded out to the pitcher in his last at-bat. Here's the windup and the pitch. Osmus shows bunt. That one's gets past the catcher. And easy into second is Max Sickler. As that pitch gets back to the backstop, and it's a 1-0 count now for Sean Osmus. He was showing bunt there. Now we'll see what he does here with a 1-0 count, and the runner moving to second. Swinging and missing on that one is Osmus, and count moves to 1-1. And Sickler will get dirty and didn't necessarily need to. No one around there for the attempted pick. Marquardt's pitch is... Oh, it crosses the plate just enough for strike two. 1-2 count now for Osmus. Reed Marquardt. And Sickler stumbles back to second. Again, nobody there for a pickoff attempt, so he's okay. But the thing you do with that is you make him second guess. This pitch is inside to Osmus for ball 2. 2-2 is the count for the veteran Sean Osmus. Here in the bottom of the fourth. Oh, and Osmus will go down looking. That pitch on the outside portion of the plate will be the first out. He'll go down looking. That's the first strikeout tonight by the Hinckley Knights. And now Noah Furch comes to the plate. 0 for 1. He reached on an error, which was also an RBI in his last at-bat in the bottom of the third. This one's just a tad high for ball 1. That one's inside, but it gets enough of the plate for strike one. 1-1 is the count for Noah Furch. Swing and a miss by Noah Furch. Bring the steam on that one is Reed Marquardt. Brought some heat with that one. And he's got a 1-2 count. With one down and a runner on second. Sickler now kind of knows the, not necessarily game that Marquardt's playing, but he realizes, hey, I may not have to get dirty to get back to second safely. Marquardt with the 1-2 delivery. Swinging and missing is Furch. So 2 down now for the Knights. Back-to-back strikeouts. And now it's Corey Schmidt coming to the plate. He reached on a base hit in his at-bat back in the third. 2 down, runner on second. Reed Marquardt has come in and taken control on the mound so far. Swinging and missing is Schmidt on the first pitch. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Reed Marquardt. Inside, and checking his swing was Schmidt. Didn't even come close to getting the bat off his shoulder. And it's a 1-1 count. And again, Marquardt will attempt a pickoff, but nobody there, and Sickler just goes back, touches the bag, gets back to his leadoff. That one's outside for ball 2 to Corey Schmidt. 2 down, runner on first for the Knights. A 2-1 count now to Corey Schmidt. Marquardt with the pitch. That's inside for ball 3. 3-1 count now to Corey Schmidt. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Oh, and that is inside. Schmidt thought he had a walk. That one just clipped enough of the plate. For strike 2, it's a full count now to Schmidt. Got a time call. And quickly back to action. And Schmidt gets a piece of that one. It's going to be a ground base hit up the middle, and that will send the runner home. An easy RBI single as Sickler comes all the way around, and that'll make it 6-0. Corey Schmidt, the RBI single. TJ Johnson now coming to the plate for the Knights. He's got a runner on first, 2 down, and Johnson, he was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, just in this previous inning. He wound up coming around and scoring. 6-0. Here's the pitch to TJ Johnson. It's outside for ball 1. On deck for the Knights is Isaiah Haas. He wound up grounding out as this pitch is in there for strike 1. This one is inside to TJ Johnson for ball 2. 2-1 count for the center fielder. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time as Schmidt is back safely. Had to get a little dirty, but is back safely. Marquardt with the 2-1 delivery, swinging through it as TJ Johnson. And that evens the count at 2-2. Knights lead 6-0. An RBI by Corey Schmidt. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the windup and the pitch to TJ Johnson. Swinging and missing is Johnson, and that will be out number 3. So all 3 outs come by way of the strikeout for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs, and it looks like Reed Marquardt may be their guy for the rest of the night because he has really taken control on the mound. He allowed 1 hit, and there was another error for the Bulldogs, but it will be adding another run to the Knights as they lead again 6-0 as we move on to the top of the 5th inning here at beautiful Brennan Field in Hinckley, Minnesota. You're listening to Baseball on WCMP.
Summer. It's about campfires, feet in the sand, the smell of a grill. And in Minnesota, it's about fishing. Walleye, northern, or panfish, whatever you're dropping a line for, Petrie's Bait in Finlayson has your summer setup. Tackle, licenses, sunscreen, t-shirts or hoodies, even groceries. Petrie's Bait is the first honey hole to hit on your next fishing trip. Petrie's Bait, part of summer. Minnesota 18 in Finlayson.
Back here for the top of the 5th inning, looking at the Twins score. Bottom of the 5th. Twins lead 6-4 now over the Guardians. Again, those 2 teams tied at the top of the division. Winner of tonight's game moves back to a 1-game lead. And of course, we're hoping it's the Twins. Guardians, they've gone on a tear here these last couple of weeks, and that has really helped them because the Twins have gone 5-5 in their last 10 games. So Twins really need to get on a winning streak again to build that lead back up. That one is in there for strike number 1 from Ben Sickler. Leading off is Logan Reynolds, moved over to right field. Second one is in there for strike 2. And a quick 0-2 count for Reynolds. Sickler, he's ready. Wind up and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss by Logan Reynolds. Beautiful pitch there from Ben Sickler. And now it is Nathan Zimmerman coming to the plate. Seven strikeouts for Ben Sickler. Beautiful pitch once again for strike one. That was just outside. To Nathan Zingerman. He gets a piece of this one and will foul it off out of play. 1-2 now the count for Zingerman with one down and nobody on. Here's the windup in the pitch from Sickler. Swing and a miss for out number 2. And now it's I believe actually it won't Reed Marquardt. It will be. So Reed Marquardt will come in. Here's the pitch, swung on and hit right to the first baseman. Gets past his outstretched glove to the right fielder, and that'll be a base hit for Reed Marquardt. So base hit for Marquardt, and now it's Hunter Lindstrom, who moved out to left field. So a 2-out base hit for Reed Marquardt brings up Hunter Lindstrom. He struck out in his first at-bat. Here's the pitch. Just high. Ball one. Swing and a miss by Hunter Lindstrom. 1-1 now the count. Sickler with the pitch. Swing and a miss by Lindstrom. It's now 1-2. Sickler is feeling it right now on the mound. He got himself into a beautiful rhythm. Just got great control of his pitch. A swing and a miss for out number 3. Each out comes by way of a strikeout for the Hinckley Knights. One hit, no errors, and no one comes across the board for the Bulldogs. They leave one stranded, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Knights leading 6-0 over the Bulldogs. 9 strikeouts now for Ben Sickler. Have to recheck my math a couple times. It is 9 strikeouts for Ben Sickler. So the Hinckley Knights will take their turn at the plate once again. And leading off for the Hinckley Knights will be Isaiah Haas. Haas so far tonight 0 for 2. He'll lead off here in this inning, much like he did in the top of the 2nd. Reed Marquardt will stay out there for the Bulldogs from Chisago Lakes. Hinckley Knights last 2 innings have scored at least 1 run. It's 6-0 for the Hinckley Knights over the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. Again, Hinckley Knights 10-4 on the year. Bulldogs have not won a game yet, but again, that interview with Isaiah Haas, their manager of the Knights, has talked about how he feels like they are just improving as the season goes along, as they're getting some of their college players back. We get set for the bottom of the 5th inning with Isaiah Haas leading off for the Knights. 0 for 2 so far tonight, trying to change his fortune right here. Here's the windup in the pitch from Marquardt. Haas will look at that one go by for strike 1. Windup in the pitch from Marquardt, swung on, and a little roller to third, throw on to first in time for out number 1. Trevor Johnson makes his way to the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. An RBI single in his last at-bat. Quickly one down, though, for the Knights. Isaiah Haas grounds out to third. This one is high to Johnson for ball one. Oh, and that one gets Johnson up near the neck head area. He'll walk to first. So Johnson, he'll go to first. He will get that courtesy runner. Griffin Steele. Should only be one out. Brady Johnson comes to the plate. They have 2 outs on the board, but I believe there's only one. I believe it was Isaiah Haas. This one's just outside for ball one to Brady Johnson. 0 for 1. He reached with a walk in his last at-bat, flew out in his first at-bat. Gets a piece of this one. That one is going to be into foul territory and out of play. One count for Brady Johnson. Now it's going to be low and inside for ball two. 2-1 count for Brady Johnson, the DH tonight for the Hinckley Knights. It says 2 outs on the board, but I believe it should only be 1. Griffin Steele over there on first, courtesy running for Trevor Johnson. This one is hit out to center field. Can he get to it in time? It's down for a base hit. Some aggressive base running here from Griffin Steele as he is into third safely. And now into second is Brady Johnson. Oh, we get a pinch hitter. And Cole Andrews. Again, I believe there should only be 1 out, but that base hit there from Brady Johnson. It's Griffin Steele, the courtesy running for Johnson, into third. First pitch to Andrews is low. And that one's right down the middle for strike one. Runners on second and third in scoring position for the pinch hitter, Cole Andrews. Here's the windup in the pitch from Reed Marquardt. Oh, that one nearly clips him. Spins out of the way of that one. So he does not get hit, but the count moves to 2-1. Marquardt has had some problem controlling some of those pitches. They have crept inside, and big swing and a miss now from Andrews, and count evens at 2-2. This one is outside. He thought about going around, holds off on it, and count moves full. That one's inside again, spinning away from it is Andrews, and that'll load the bases. And now Max Sickler comes to the plate. There should be only 1 down. Okay.
Sorry about that. There's only 1 out.
So we do have only 1 out for the Hinckley Knights. I kind of thought so. It was Isaiah Haas who led off with the ground out. Now we have 2 runners on base from walks. One was hit by the pitch. That was Cole Andrews. And now top of the order, Max Sickler. He gets a piece of this one, fouls it back out of play. His last at bat, he reached on an error, wound up coming all the way around to score for their one and only run back in the 4th. It's 6-0. Bases are loaded. An 0-1 count for Max Sickler. An RBI possibility here. He gets a piece of it. If this is, oh, the pitcher can't grab it cleanly, and that'll be a fielder's choice, but an RBI nonetheless.
That ground out scores a run for the Knights.
and it is an RBI. So Sean Osmus now comes to the plate as the Hinckley Knights lead 7-0. Runners do advance to second and third. Sean Osmus to the plate, 0 for 3 today. Got a piece of that one. Fouls it into the backstop. He has flown out, ground out, and then most recently went down looking. Looking to change that here with a swing of the bat. 0-1 pitch on the way. Gets a piece of it right to the third baseman. Throw on to first is in time for out number 3. So one hit comes across the board that scores a run. Excuse me. So no errors from the Bulldogs as we will now move on to the top of the 6th inning. Again, the Knights lead 7-0 after scoring a run here in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th inning coming up after a word from our sponsors.
Minnesota Equipment is your lawn equipment headquarters. With plenty of staff members that have over 20 years of experience, they're #1 in sales and service for a reason. The pros at Minnesota Equipment have tons of lawnmowers, zero-turn mowers, and accessories on site, so come by for Steel, Aaron's, Toro, Gravely, and John Deere, and take one home today. Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or find them at minnesotaequipment.com today.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350 WCMP, and online at WCMPradio.com, streaming video. Moving to the top of the 6th inning, moving right along here in this game, and as I mentioned, the Hinckley Knights, if you didn't hear the interview with manager Ted Haas, the Knights are now half game out of first place in the Eastern Mini North Division because the Moore Blue Devils won yesterday. But a half game out, if they win tonight, they'd be a half game into first. Leading off now for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs is their top of the order hitter, Ryan Sandvik. He gets this one, pops it up. Ben Sickler, he'll go over into foul territory, grab it for out number 1. So a quick 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. And now we've got another sub here for Dusty Rhodes. It'll be Dylan Magnuson. We're number 34. So Magnuson checks into the game. And watch this one go by for strike 1. 1 hit allowed by Ben Sickler with 9 strikeouts. And he's got that one in there for strike 2. Just getting some beautiful work in here is Sickler. He's got full command of his pitches right now, as that one is just a tad outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count now for Ben Sickler to Dylan Magnuson, and that one is in there. And Magnuson will go down looking. So make it 10 strikeouts tonight for Ben Sickler. And now coming to the plate is Augie Brown. Brown is 0 for 1 today. He reached on a walk in his first at-bat, then had a fielder's choice. So he reached on his second. This one's going to catch the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. And Ben Sickler again trying to get these Bulldogs down 1-2-3. Here's the windup in the pitch from Sickler. And yeah, that's a good piece of that one from Augie Brown. That's down for a base hit. He's going to round first, going into second. Not going to have a play at second. Beautiful throw, though. The center fielder into the second baseman. So a 2-out double there from Augie Brown. And now it's Nick Wasco coming to the plate. Wasco is 0 for 2 as well in this game. He's got his catcher's gear on because there were 2 outs, and as a catcher, you got to get your gear on so that way you don't have to take too long before getting back out on the field. Well, he'll get his gear off, and now he steps into the batter's box. Runner on second with 2 down. That's only their second hit of the game for the Bulldogs, and Sickler with the pitch. That one is popped up to the second baseman for out number 3. So 1 hit strands 1 batter at second. No errors by the Hinckley Knights, and we will move on to the bottom rather. I'm looking ahead. I'm already getting too antsy. Bottom of the 6th now, as the Hinckley Knights lead 7-0 over the visiting Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. I want to thank everyone who has tuned in here tonight for this Wednesday night baseball here in Brennan Field in beautiful Hinckley, Minnesota. If you're just joining us, it's been a good last, 3 innings for the Hinckley Knights. They did not get any runs across the board in the first 2, but then they got 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, and then 1 run each in the last 2 innings. They'll look to continue that streak here into the 6th inning. Ben Stickler again just completed 6 innings of work, 10 strikeouts for him in these 6 innings. And it looks like Reed Marquardt will get another inning out there for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. He's their 3rd pitcher here tonight, and this would be his 3rd inning of pitching as well. And leading off this bottom of the 6th will be Noah Furch for the Hinckley Knights. Furch on the evening is 0 for 2. Reached on a walk in the 1st. Then he had an RBI. That was an error. It's how he reached in the 3rd. And he struck out in the 4th. He'll look to get another hit here in this one. Well, rather his first. It would be his first, but it would feel like his second. So the catcher gets out there for the Bulldogs. He's out there, and probably get 1 or 2 more throws to the catcher from Marquardt. There's one, and I'm guessing this might be this last one. Again, bottom of the 6th. Might get 1 more from Reed Marquardt. Noah Furch warming up there to lead off this bottom of the 6th for the Hinckley Knights. So here we go to start the bottom of the 6th. Knights lead 7-0 over the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. They win this Bulldogs on the season. They are hungry for their first win, and again, trying to get their team kind of back together as we've been talking about. They've got their college players back, so they feel like they are a lot better. That one is in there for strike 1. Beautiful pitch there from Reed Marquardt. On deck is Corey Schmidt. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's in there on the outside part to Noah Furch for strike 2. Schmidt today is 2 for 3. The windup and the 0-2 delivery. Ooh, just misses on the outside part of the plate. That is a tough one to lay off of if you're Furch, because you're protecting on 0-2, and that one is on the outside part. That's tough to lay off of, but he does a good job of laying off. It's 1-2. Here's the pitch. That one's low and in the dirt outside. Ball 2 evens the count at 2-2. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be low as well, and that brings the count full. Furch being patient up here at the plate. First 2 pitches were strikes and then 3 straight balls. And now the full count pitch. He gets a piece of this one, but he'll foul it back out of play. Waiting for the clunk of it hitting a car, but doesn't sound like it did, thankfully. So we'll do it again with a full count. Reed Marquardt. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ooh, that is inside. Wow, what a patient at-bat there for Noah Furch here in the bottom to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. I mean, again, that is so tough to do. He watched 2 straight. The first 2 pitches he saw were strikes, and then the 3rd pitch was just off the plate outside for ball 1. And watched the next 2 go for balls. He swung and hit the second to last pitch out of play, and then that one was inside for ball 4. And now we've got a issue with the catcher's glove. Looks like he's going to exchange his glove for a different one. So an equipment issue there for the catcher, and looks like he'll just kind of get a throw from his pitcher, Reed Marquardt, just to make sure it's going to be okay for him behind the plate. So trying to figure something out with it, maybe just tightening it up a little bit. Make sure it's securely on that left hand. So we're back to play now with Corey Schmidt at the plate. And the throw over to the first baseman was checking on Furch. Furch is going to round second. Instead of just taking one, he's going to take two. And he's safe in third. Wow. Talk about aggressive running from Noah Furch. He somehow got his foot in there safely at third. So a runner on third now after that pickoff attempt goes well awry. He's into third, and now Corey Schmidt, a great opportunity to add on to this big lead already. High for ball one, and the catcher looks at his glove in almost disbelief that he caught it and held on to it. He wasn't sure that he actually held on to it. 1-0 count for Corey Schmidt. Marquardt with the pitch. That one's straight back up at the pitcher. The shortstop gets to it on a slide and gets to first in time for the first out, but that will score Noah Furch. And a ground out to the shortstop for out number one, but it is an RBI. So a lot happening there on the stat sheet. A ground out to the shortstop for the first out, but an RBI. Makes it 8-0 now for the Hinckley Knights here in the bottom of the sixth inning. They will continue that streak of hitting at least one run in their last 4 innings. And now it's T.J. Johnson at the plate. Inside for ball one to T.J. Johnson from Reed Marquardt. That's in there on the inside part. 4 strike one to T.J. Johnson. Nobody on with one down. Marquardt with the windup and the pitch. T.J. Johnson got a piece of that one. Fouls it out of play. And his count moves to 1-2. Low and outside for ball two. Evens the count at 2-2. One down, nobody on. T.J. Johnson. For 2 tonight, he was hit by a pitch back in the third. He has to reach on this one just to protect, and that one's going to reach out of play. So he'll step back into the batter's box, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Johnson gets set. Marquardt with the 2-2 pitch. Johnson just gets a piece of it. A little later out of the batter's box. Oh, and another error that just slips under the shortstop's glove. That will be an E6 again. The shortstop, he's made some good plays tonight, but then he also has, 1, 2, 3 errors as well. It's been a tough night there for that shortstop. Again, he's made some good plays, but he also has 3 errors on the night, 3 of their 5. So one down, runner on first for Isaiah Haas. Swinging and missing is Isaiah Haas. 0-1. Marquardt gets set. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Low for ball one. 1-1 count for Isaiah Haas. Marquardt with the delivery. That one is going to get past the catcher, and T.J. Johnson will be easily into second on the wild pitch. And Isaiah Haas will have a 2-1 count. Runner on second with one down. Here's the pitch from Marquardt. For Isaiah Haas. Fly RBI for Isaiah Haas brings up Trevor Johnson to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today, and he was hit by a pitch back in the 5th. Sacrifice fly makes it 9-0 here for the Hinckley Knights in the bottom of the 6th inning. And again, it is Trevor Johnson to the plate. He got hit by a pitch in the last inning, and it was scary. It was up around the neck area. It might have even actually got a piece of his helmet. His first pitch to him is outside for ball 1. Marquardt with the pitch. Johnson gets a piece of it, pops it up out to the second baseman, who will get onto the outfield grass, grab it in time for out number 3. So no hits, but they do get 2 runs. Or 1 run, excuse me. No, two. So 2 runs, no hits. That 1 error by the Bulldogs. And it's a 9-0 lead as we move to the top of the 7th inning here. In Hinckley, a beautiful Brendan Field with the Hinckley Knights leading over the winless Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. Looks like we will get a new pitcher for the Knights. And the new pitcher looks like it will be Lucas Willis, number 24. And while they get set to go and Willis warms up, we'll take a commercial break and hear a word from our fine sponsors.
If you've been injured in an auto accident or have sustained other personal injury, you don't have to leave town to get good representation. Spear and Swanson attorneys at law in Pine City are experienced and will work on your case with no fee until they get you money. They also handle divorce and custody cases, criminal defense, including DWI and other legal matters. Spear and Swanson is your local law firm that cares about you. So if you need legal representation or advice, call 320-629-7586. Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City.
All right, saw, check. Drill, check. The rest of the tools, check. All right, let's get started. Honey?
Yes?
Where is all the lumber to build this shed?
The big box store was supposed to drop it off 2 days ago. Is it not out there?
Man, it's the chicken coop all over again. Bill from work just built a sauna, and he said he went through Hinckley Lumber. Let's call them and see what they can do.
I'm on the phone with them now. They said...
Delivery from Hinckley Lumber. Where do you want it?
There would be great. Thanks.
All in a day's work. But for your next project, like fixing that ugly chicken coop over there, think Hinckley Lumber.
106.5 FM, AM 1350 WCMP. If you missed the 6th inning, it was the 4th straight inning in which the Hinckley Knights scored at least 1 run. They scored 2 and didn't even get a hit. They did have an error by the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs, though. And that would be the end of Ben Sickler's night, as he went 6 innings with 10 strikeouts for the Hinckley Knights. And now it's Lucas Willis on the mound, or number 24. Leading off for the Bulldogs is Jeremy Knutson. Here's the windup in the pitch from Willis, and that one is swung on and hit right in between the first and second. So Knutson will lead off with a single, and Logan Reynolds comes to the plate 0 for 2 today. Logan Reynolds coming to the plate 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. And he would love to change his fortune right now with a runner on first. Our leadoff batter. This one swung on, and a slow roller to the pitcher. It just gets under his glove. And the runners are safe. So Reynolds reaches on a single. And Knutson moves to second. Trevor Johnson just has a quick word with his pitcher as he gets back behind the plate. Nathan Zingerman up to the batter's box, in the right-handed batter's box. 2 runners on and none out, and he gets just a piece of it to foul it back. Willis with the 0-1 delivery. Got a piece of that one right back to the pitcher, and it's going to be a double play as they get the runner out at first. Beautiful play there from Lucas Willis. That one was zipped, and I mean zipped right back to him for out number 1, and then they got the runner at first for out number 2. Wow, what a play there by Lucas Willis. I mean, that was line right back to him, and great aware play by Lucas Willis, too, to not only get the out, but then throw it on to first and get the double play. Reed Marquardt at the plate. See, second pitch is outside for ball 2. 2-0 count now for Reed Marquardt. Willis with the pitch. Low for ball 3. 3-0 count now for Marquardt, who is 1 for 1 tonight. He reached on a single back in the 5th. He's got 2 down and a runner on second. That one is in there for strike number 1 to Marquardt. 3-1 is the count. 2 down, as I mentioned, in the leadoff runner on second. Willis with the pitch. This one swung on, and that's going to reach the gap out there in left center. That'll get down for a base hit, and then we've got the runner from second trying to get home, and going to throw it on to second, and that'll be out. So Reed Marquardt tried to be a little bit greedy. He'll be the third out, but he will get an RBI. So the Bulldogs do score 1 on a base hit. It is going to be counted as a hit. So it'll be 3 hits in this inning for the Bulldogs. A run will score on the base hit, but then, again, Reed Marquardt got a little too greedy on his base running, and Trevor Johnson threw him out at second. Just a beautiful, smart play from Trevor Johnson there at the catcher spot. Looked like he may have been able to tag the runner at home plate, but if he would have done that, it would have been close, and instead he throws it down to second for the for sure out. So now a 9-1 lead here for the Hinckley Knights. They do give up 1 run, but still plenty in control are the Knights. 9-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning, I believe. No, 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning. And now we get a new pitcher again for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. As Reed Marquardt had 3 innings, pitched. He allowed 2 hits. And trying to figure out who is the new pitcher. Steve Budke. Going to be the new guy. So Steve Budke will come in for the Bulldogs. This is their 4th pitcher of the game. And looks like we will have Lucas Willis come to the plate for Brady Johnson. Brady Johnson will take a seat for Lucas Willis. He's got a beautiful stash going as well. Just an awesome stash. He'll step into the left-handed batter's box, and with a stash like that, pitcher's got to be intimidated. You got to think. First pitch to him, low for ball 1. One 0 is the count to Willis. And And the 1-0 pitch on the way. Oh, and a half-hearted swing. Checked his swing, and it's going to fly out to third. That is tough. That's a tough one. He tried to check his swing, and the ball just got a piece. And it flew out to third. Now Cole Andrews coming to the plate. I believe he's taking the place of Perotti. First pitch to him is low for ball 1. He did reach on a walk back in the 5th inning, did Andrews, and here's the pitch. That's on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. 1-1 is the count with 1 out and nobody on. 1-1 pitch, low in the dirt, and that'll bring the count 2-1. Looking at the pitches in there for strike 2. 2-2 count with 1 down. Key getting set for the 2-2 pitch. Here's the windup and the delivery. Getting a piece of it is Andrews, but it's popped up to the pitcher for out number 2.
That pop up to the pitcher brings us back to the top of the order.
Top of the order, pinch hitter Griffin Steele. Griffin Steele will come to the plate for Max Sickler. And it looks like the catcher is going to have to go to the dugout again. It looks like he's having some equipment issues. Not sure if this is the glove again or if this looks like it might be his helmet or his mask. Looks like it is. He's had a tough night back there. Done a pretty good job though, but equipment-wise, this is a second time he's had to go to the dugout to switch some equipment. It was his glove the last time, and now it's his mask this time. So hopefully that'll be it for his equipment struggles here this evening. Not just for anybody's sake, but his. I mean, that's got to be annoying as a catcher to have your equipment not cooperate. First pitch to Griffin Steele is outside for ball 1. Steele's batting 143 and watches this pitch go by for ball 2. Swings and misses on that one. And now it's 2-1 for Griffin Steele. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up into foul territory. Third baseman's on it. He grabs it for out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down for the Hinckley Knights. No hits and nobody left on for the Hinckley Knights. We will move to the top of the 8th inning, and the Knights lead over the Bulldogs 9-1. And we will take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be ready for the top of the 8th inning. You're listening to baseball on WCMP.
With high school sports season here again, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Back here on 106.5 FM AM 1350. If you're not listening to this baseball game, or if you are and you want to hear the Twins, you can head over to 100.9 FM to hear the Twins taking on the Guardians. You may not want to right now. You may not want to look at the Twins score because they now trail 7-6 in the top of the 7th. So maybe you don't want to tune into this one. Stay with this one. This one probably a bit better depending on the team you're cheering for, I guess. It depends on the team you're cheering for. But if you're a Hinckley Knights fan, it is going the way you would hope. If you're a Bulldogs fan, hasn't been your night tonight. But beautiful thing about baseball is you can really have one inning that really turns everything around. And Jack Beck is in for Hunter Lindstrom. And the top of the 8th to lead off. Lucas Willis still out there. Here's the pitch. Little bit low, they say, and it's ball 1. That one's in there for strike 2. Very similar pitch to the last one that umpire called ball, but 1-2 count now. Ooh. Oh, I'm not sure what that one was, but it's ball. So 2-2 is the count now for Jack Beck. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Willis. Oh, and just outside, and that's going to be full count now. Here's the full count pitch from Willis, and that is inside for ball 4.
That leadoff walk brings us back to the top of the Bulldogs order with the third baseman, number 16,
Ryan Sandvik now coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. He struck out twice and flown out back in the 6th. Here's the pitch from Willis, just off the plate for ball 1. Willis with the pitch. Swung on and hit right back to the shortstop. On to 2 for 1, and it's a bouncer to the first baseman. Not in time, so they will get a fielder's choice out at second. And Sandvik is on first with a fielder's choice. Dylan Magnuson, he struck out in his first at-bat back in the 6th inning, coming in for Dusty Rhodes. This is second at-bat, 1 down and a runner on first. Isaac Lunzen over there on first. Got the umpire telling him, hey, you got to be in fair territory. So he moves, and first pitch comes. It's high for ball 1 to Dylan Magnuson. Here's the pitch from Willis. That is inside for ball 2. Two-0 count now for Magnuson. This one is inside, gets enough of the plate for strike 1. 2-1 count with 1 down. Runner is going from first, and this gets past the second baseman. Shortstop's there to back him up, and runner will be safe at second. Two-two count now for Magnuson. Runner on second with 1 down. And this one is tapped foul. Count stays 2-2 for Magnuson, and Lucas Willis looks for his first strikeout. It's going to be low from Willis for ball 3. This one is swung on and missed, and Magnuson will go down swinging for out number 2. Augie Brown comes to the plate. 1 for 2 today. Reached on a double in his last at-bat. That would probably score the runner at second, more than likely, I would think. First pitch is in there for strike number 1. 1 count for Augie Brown. Again, runner still on second. Pitch from Willis. In the dirt, but Johnson keeps it in front of him, and runner at second will stay at second. One count. Willis with the pitch. On the outside part of the plate, but enough for strike 2. 1-2 the count. Willis looking for a second straight strikeout here. That would retire it. Going to third. Johnson's throw a little bit high. It's going to get by. And an error is going to send the runner home. So the first error of the night for the Hinckley Knights scores the Bulldogs' second run of the evening. Makes it 9-2. Still in favor of the Knights. With a 1-2 count now coming the way of Augie Brown. Willis, this one is outside. A full count now. Here's the full count pitch. Outside, and it did. It got him looking. So the strikeout will end the top of the 8th for the Bulldogs, and they do score 1 on an error, no hits, and nobody left on for the Bulldogs, as it is 9-2 in favor of the Hinckley Knights. And we move on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Knights will look for maybe some insurance runs here, and move on to the top of the 9th and secure this victory this evening and move back into first place in the Eastern Mini League North Division. Again, Mora in first place after a win yesterday over, I forgot who they played now. I know they played, though. They did play for sure. Just don't remember who they played. I can go and look it up, though. But they did win yesterday, did the Mora Blue Devils, and that put them into first place over the Hinckley Knights. But just by a half game, so if the Knights win tonight, which it looks like they might, they'll be back into first by a half game again. More Blue Devils, have a 6-4 record, but a 5-1 record in the Eastern Mini North Division. Knights have a 10-4 record and a 5-2 record in the Eastern Mini North Division. More Blue Devils, by the way, they played the North Branch Nighthawks last night. That's who they played. They won 7-4. And now, still out there, looking to finish it off is Steve Budke. Now, he didn't grab a strikeout, but he did retire them 1-2-3 last time. And Isaac Lenzen now comes to the plate. Lenzen steps into the right-handed batter's box, got that flow going. Here's the pitch from Budke. Inside low for ball 1. Budke with the 1-0 delivery. Lenzen swings, and a big swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Bottom of the 8th here. And Lenzen is the leadoff batter. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that just misses Lenzen. Two 2-1 now the count for Isaac Lenzen. And the pitch from Budke in there. For strike 2. 2-2 is the count for Isaac Lenzen. And this one's outside. For ball 3, that'll move the count full for the leadoff batter Lenzen, who is at the first base position for Sean Osmus. Full count. Here is the delivery from Budke. And Lenzen got this one, but right to the shortstop. And now Noah Furch steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. Reached base on balls twice and struck out once. Or actually, he's 0 for 2 today. That base hit that he got wasn't a base hit. It was an error. Forgot about that. So 1 down for Furch, and the pitch from Budke inside high for ball 1. Sun has not completely set yet, but lights are on and a beautiful backdrop here at Brennan Field. That one's down the middle for strike 1. As we reach the 9:30 mark here this evening. Set at about 68 degrees. Beautiful, probably gorgeous down there on the field as well. Budke with the 1-1 pitch to Noah Furch. Furch gets a piece of it. He'll pop it up, though, to the third baseman, who doesn't get it. And that'll be an error, so Furch again will reach on an error. He's reached twice on an error tonight, has Furch, and now Cade Thurner will come in for Corey Schmidt. First pitch to Thurner is high and inside for ball 1. Again, you got Noah Furch over there on first to reach on an error. The pop up to the third baseman. He was under it in time, but just couldn't get his glove around it. Budke will check Furch at first. Bit of a tongue twister there. Furch at first. But he's back in time. Budke with the 1-0 pitch. And Cade Thurner got a piece of it right back into the net. And it's a 1-1 count now for Cade Thurner. Cade Thurner on the year, batting 0.37, so 2 RBIs though. Got a piece of that one down the third baseline, but it is just foul. Heard the crack of the bat on that one, and his count moves to 1-2 with 1 down and a runner on first. That is Noah Furch. Steve Budke gets set. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Low one in the dirt, gets past the catcher, but not enough for Furch to try and take second. Count is now 2-2 for Cade Thurner. Budke with the 2-2 delivery. Thurner gets a piece of that one out to left field. Left center, and the left fielder's on it. Route number 2. And now it's TJ Johnson coming to the plate. He is 0 for 3 today. He reached by getting hit by a pitch in the third and then flew out in the first, struck out in the fourth, and also reached on an error in the sixth. He would eventually score in the sixth. And do we have another pitcher change for the Bulldogs? We might. Steve Budke came in the 7th. And we will get a new pitcher for the Bulldogs. 1 2/3 innings pitched by Steve Budke. No hits allowed. And I can't quite see the number of who's going to be the new pitcher.
All right, coming in to pitch is number 9, Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes will now be the new pitcher. Yes, I cheated a little. I waited for the PA announcer. So Dusty Rhodes will come in here in the bottom of the 8th. So far, the Knights have not scored in this inning. They had, before that, 4 straight innings, which they scored at least 1 run. It started back in the bottom of the 3rd where they scored 5, and then 1 in each in the bottom of the 4th and 5th, and then 2 in the bottom of the 6th. And then I just seen the scoreboard now. They did not score a run last inning. Yeah, I'm smart, I promise. I know what I'm doing. But they did not score a run last inning, so that streak came to an end there in the bottom of the 7th. But either way, the Knights still lead 9-2 here over the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs, who are winless on the season. Knights looking to grab yet another win. Move up to 11-4. If you're wondering about that Twins score, they've tied it in the bottom of the 7th at 7. So Twins hanging in there. First pitch here to TJ Johnson's inside for ball 1. 2 down and a runner on first. TJ got a piece of that one, fouls it off. And count moves 1-1. On deck is Isaiah Haas. Got an RBI in his last at bat. It was a sac fly. One's low, and Furch got caught, but he's back safely. The pitch to TJ Johnson was a ball, and Furch kind of started to head to second and then realized, hey, I better get back. He does get back safely. The ball does get away from the first baseman just a little bit, but Furch gets some luck there on that one. 2-1 is the count. TJ Johnson, he gets a piece of this one to the third baseman. Third baseman does a good job to grab a hold of it, but this is going to be high. Scoring an error. And TJ Johnson is on first. Furch moves to second. Isaiah Haas up to the plate with another opportunity for an RBI here to add a couple insurance runs with runners on the corners and 2 down. Again, it's Dusty Rhodes, the new pitcher for the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. Here's the pitch. Oh, just outside, and the catcher, great reaction to grab that one, hold it, and not let it get away. 1-0 count. Haas gets this one out to right field, pops it up just enough for the right fielder to get under it in time for out number 3. Tanner Marquardt gets the final out. Bottom of the 8th. No hits and 2 errors by the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. They strand 2. And we move to the top of the 9th with the Knights, again, leading the Bulldogs 9-2. We'll be back here on WCMP with the top of the 9th as the Bulldogs are down to their final 3 outs here on WCMP.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer. That signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
106.5 FM AM 1350. Hinckley Knights lead the Bulldogs 9-2. An update on that Twins game, though. I quickly went from the Twins trailing 7-6 in the top of the 7th, where I told you may not want to turn it over to 100.9 FM because they were trailing. But now all of a sudden in the bottom of the 7th, they grabbed 4 runs to now retake the lead over the Guardians 10-7. So it looks like the bats are hot tonight for the Twins. Hopefully it can stay that way.
Number 36, Nick Wasco.
Nick Wasco coming to the plate in the top of the 9th here. That one's outside low for ball 1. Here's the pitch from Willis. In there for strike one. One and one is the count to Wasco. He swings and misses on that one. Moves his count 1-2 now. Lucas Willis with the 1-2 delivery. Wasco got a piece of that one. He broke his bat. Throw on to first from Furchy in time for out number one. He broke his bat. Did Wasco. He didn't even on the run to first. He just jogged. And now Jeremy Knutson steps to the plate with one down. Get time call. Let Wasco get back to the dugout. One down. Lucas Willis with the windup and the pitch. Knutson gets a piece of that one, and it will go foul down the first base line. Knutson is 1 for 3 tonight. Got a base hit in the top of the 7th. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Willis. And he gets a piece of this one to the shortstop. Furch. Oh, misplayed it. Call it an E6. Logan Reynolds now steps to the plate. Runner on first due to an error. And one down. Logan Reynolds 1 for 3 today, excuse me. He got a base hit back in the 7th as well. So 1-0 count now for Reynolds. Swings and misses on that one. Moves his count 1-1. 1-1 is the count for Logan Reynolds. He struck out twice today. Oh, and he has to duck under that one from Willis. It's a 2-1 count now. That one just got away from Willis a little bit. And here's the 2-1 delivery. In there for strike number 2. Even count at 2-2 now for Logan Reynolds. Willis with the 2-2 delivery. And that's going to be a base hit from Logan Reynolds. Center fielder will get to it and throw it in quickly, but that's a base hit for Logan Reynolds. And now they've got 2 runners on, and it's Nathan Zingerman coming to the plate. He is 0 for 3 today. And, man, a base hit here would really change things. Swinging on the first pitch and falling back into the net is Zingerman. 0-1 count. Willis with the 0-1 delivery. That one swung on and hit out to right field. It's going to bounce once in for a base hit. Runners will advance, and we have the bases loaded. All of a sudden, Tanner Marquardt steps back into the game. He had one at-bat before being replaced by Reed Marquardt. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout, and now back in here in the top of the 9th. First pitch from Willis is in there for strike 1, and swing and a miss from Marquardt. And 0-2 is the count for Marquardt. Getting ahead is Lucas Willis, and great way to get yourself out of a jam and get to that last out that you need. Willis with the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off and out of play. Lucas Willis gets set. Here's the 0-2 delivery. And this one is popped up. Trevor Johnson. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he did get his glove on it. Wow, I could not tell if he did or not. But he's going to get his glove on it for out number 2. Jack Beck now comes to the plate. He reached on a walk in the last inning, and now he is the Bulldogs' last hope here. They are down to their final out. Base is still loaded. A grand slam only brings the Bulldogs' deficit down to 3, but it would be a start. Here's the pitch from Lucas Willis. In there for strike one, not messing around with that one. Here's the 0-1 delivery from Lucas Willis. This one is swung on into foul territory. Out of play. 0-2 count now for Jack Beck. Willis looking to end the game. Does with a strikeout. Jack Beck goes down swinging, and that will end the game. Willis will finish with 3 strikeouts, and he will pitch 3 innings. He grabbed 3 strikeouts and allowed 5 hits. 2 errors here for the Knights, and about 7 for the Bulldogs. So the Hinckley Knights come out victorious in this game, 9-2 over the winless Chisago Lakes Bulldogs. And the Knights improve to 11-4 on the season, and with that, they should move up to first place in the Eastern Mini North Division with the win tonight. That should put them a half game ahead. Of course, you can stay tuned to WCMP. We'll keep you up to date on all of that, and I'll let you know what their standings look like tomorrow. You can tune into the morning show on WCMP with Joshua Miron, the morning show host for the morning show on 100.9 FM WCMP. Or tune in to Rock and Robin Riley's morning show on KBK 95.5 FM. And that is, again, it from Hinckley. The Knights get the victory over the Bulldogs 9-2. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors. Can't come out here and do it without them. So appreciate all of them for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Thank you for all of you who tuned in here tonight for this game. Appreciate it. And hopefully, if you were cheering for the Hinckley Knights, you got to witness a good one. If you were cheering for the Bulldogs, hey, it wasn't your night. They will have plenty of more chances. And, hey, their bats heated up right there at the end. And if they can get that going sooner, man, you can bet this team is going to be dangerous. But the Knights get the victory 9-2, improved to 11-4 on the season. Bulldogs fall and continue to be winless, but got plenty of games to go. Again, this weekend, it is the Hinckley Invitational Tournament here at, Brennan Field. It'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They'll have the first game on Friday at 6, and then the next one at 8. It will continue into Saturday and Sunday. So don't forget to tune in to that. Be sure to come out here to Brennan Field. That is probably one of the better ones. If you heard the interview with Knights manager Ted Haas, he said that's probably one of the best ones in the state. So come on out, have some food, and enjoy some cold beverages as you get to watch not only the Hinckley Knights, but some great teams from around the state of Minnesota as they play for the championship of the Hinckley Invitational. It has been a fun one here for the Hinckley Knights. They got only 7 hits, believe it or not. Only 7 hits on the night, but they scored 9 runs off those 7 hits. And I don't know if we have a player of the game in the field. If we do, it would be Ben Sickler. I think we do. Ben Sickler, he pitched 6 innings with 10 strikeouts and only allowed 2 hits. 6 shutout innings there for Ben Sickler. So he will be our player of the game tonight. Ben Sickler, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, allowing 2 hits for the Hinckley Knights. Once again, the Hinckley Knights get the victory over the Chisago Lakes Bulldogs 9-2, improved to 11-4 on the season. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Remember, be kind to everyone because you never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could make their day. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, have a great rest of your night.